everybody, welcome back to Whojackapippy. Today I want to talk about something that's been in the news a lot, and that is disaster. There have been a ton of natural disasters lately. Hurricane Sandy, earthquakes, tsunamis, all sorts of stuff all over the world. So I thought it'd probably be a good time to take a look at the word disaster and figure out where it comes from. As you can imagine, the word is an old one. There have been disasters happening for a very long time, and this one takes us back to the time of the ancient Greeks, the ancient Egyptians, and the ancient Romans, so a good 2,000 years ago. Strangely, though, their explanations of natural disasters didn't lead them to investigate what was happening under their feet, but actually to look up into the sky. And it wasn't totally crazy. What they noticed was that in some ways you could use the stars as a clock. And I've talked about this in some of my other videos. They looked up at the stars, and the ancient Egyptians had noticed that there was a particular star, Sirius, the dog star, that would show up on the horizon only in July. And that happened to be just before the Nile would flood, have its annual flood, which is exactly the time when it was a good time to plant crops, just before the waters arrived. So they started to believe that the stars could not only predict the future, but actually could influence what was happening down on Earth. And this gets us back to the word disaster. Okay? When bad things happen, like earthquakes and volcanoes and so forth, they assumed that there must have been something in the sky that gave them a warning of this, because nothing big on Earth down below could happen without something in the sky being linked to it somehow, usually predicting it. And the things that they were looking out for were, of course, not the things which happened all the time, but the things which were exceptions. Things like lunar eclipses and solar eclipses totally freaked out the ancients. They thought, oh my goodness, the world's going to end. And the other thing which would happen, which is kind of unpredictable, from their perspective at least, were comets. Okay? The word comet actually means hairy tail, and sort of like a horse's tail, and that kind of makes sense given the way it looks, right? Well, when comets arrived, this should not be happening. There can't be new stars in the sky. They didn't understand what comets were. They just felt that something was out of alignment up in the sky, so something bad was going to happen down below as well. That helps to explain where we get the word disaster, because disaster is a word that comes to us from the ancient Greeks. Aster means star. Okay? From aster we get astronomy, the study of stars, asteroids, little stars. We also get asterix, right? That thing that you write down that looks like a little star. And we get disaster. You know what dis means, right? Dis, I'm going to diss you. Dis back then meant something evil or malign, so it meant an evil star. So a disaster was caused by evil stars in the sky. Before I go, I want to give you an old word which we don't use anymore, that's gone extinct. And this week's old word is pig's whisper. Now, it's kind of a weird term, so I'm going to give you 3 guesses on what it is. See if you can figure out which one's the right answer. First one is a hoarse cough. Second one is a whisper that's meant to be heard. And the third is the sound that a hog makes when it's being beaten. Okay, give a little bit of a thought there. Okay, you got an idea? The right answer is actually a whisper that's meant to be heard. When someone says something so loud in a whisper that they hope other people are listening, that's a pig's whisper. So actually not a bad term. I think we all have friends who do pig's whispers, so the next time one of your friends is doing that, you can call them on it and say, stop being such a pig whisperer. And they will probably think you're crazy. Hey, thanks a lot for watching Whojackapippy this week. If you want to get more of these, just click on subscribe on YouTube. If you want to find the sources that I used for all of this, just go to the website, Whojackapippy.com. And if you've got a word or a question, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. So thanks for everything. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.